Yesterday, we got to have some fun breaking the news about DC All In Absolute Universe, some of the major creators on there, what the look of Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman was going to be in Absolute Universe. But we also knew they were resetting a lot of titles, new creators coming in. There's been some reporting on these new creators that are going to be a part of DC All In, but none of them tying them to titles. And I got that for you today. I got your hookup. We've got the leaks out there. Who's going to be writing Action Comics, Detective Comics, Batman and Robin, a Green Arrow, some other books out there. Some of this stuff is good news. Some of it is terrible news. And some of it I'm more agnostic on. Definitely want to hear from you guys and what you think about these creative teams. Without further ado, let's get right into this sumbitch. First up, Detective Comics. New writer Tom Taylor, Michael Yannon as the artist. Long ago, the murders of Thomas and Martha Wayne changed Gotham forever. But there is something you never knew about the Dark Knight's tragic origin, which has been lying in wait to strike at Batman ever since that fateful night in Crime Alley. And now, all these years later, this ghost of Gotham's past begins to reveal itself. Superstars Tom Taylor and Michael Yannon team up to bring a Batman tale that will rattle the very foundation of the Dark Knight. Things may never be the same again. Almost typical in Tom Taylor fashion, taking over Detective Comics. He's going to go back and retcon the origin of the character. He literally does this to every single character he takes over. Remember Nightwing? All of a sudden, he has a secret half-sister and all this stupid BS. Does Tom Taylor still get you excited about anything unless it's Deceased or maybe Injustice? Tom Taylor on Detective Comics does not give me that comic book stiffy that I'm looking for. Michael Yannon is a perfectly good artist. He's got a very digital style. There's almost no soul to it. So he's a great illustrator. I don't think he's a great visual storyteller, but he certainly has a name associated with Batman. So some people will be excited about that. Me personally, Michael Yannon doesn't make me not want to pick up a book, but he doesn't make me think, oh, wow, that's going to look awesome because of his style. And it just doesn't even fit Batman. It's way too slick and way too clean for my taste. But Tom Taylor's the real red flag on this one. Tom Taylor in continuity just kind of blows. The best thing he's done in probably 8 years is Nightwing. And that story is insufferable because it's told at such a slow pace that it bogs down and gets boring about 3 issues in. You jump in right now, tell them the same exact story. So we'll see on that one. Next up, we've got Nightwing. New writer Dan Waters, artist Dexter Soy. Bloodhaven has erupted in violence as rival gangs vie to fill the power vacuum left by Nightwing's cleanup of corrupt officials, but is an outside force turning the games against each other, escalating the violence in Bloodhaven toward even more sinister ends. To find out, Nightwing must do the unthinkable. No matter the cost, don't miss the start of this groundbreaking new arc that will redefine what it means to be a hero. I love Nightwing, and this was the thing that I was most excited for. I was really hoping they would get a really awesome, exciting writer. Dan Waters is not exciting. I don't think he's bad, but he's not really an action storyteller, and Nightwing is definitely an action hero with everything that he can do there. So I don't have high hopes for this, but Dan Waters doesn't make me go, oh, that'll be unreadable. It'll probably just be kind of average. The big name on here that gets me excited is Dexter Soy, who certainly has a clean style that you might want to even compare, I guess, to Michael Yannon. But I think Dexter Soy is a far superior artist and a far superior visual storyteller. I think he's a really good artist. I don't know that he perfectly fits Nightwing. I would like something a little bit grittier because I do think Nightwing is a man of the streets and every man that kind of gets in terrible situations. And I think Dexter Soy more fits a character like a Green Lantern or something like that, where you can really highlight his artistic style and the constructs and all that kind of stuff. But I think he'll do fine on Nightwing, and this will look really good. I'll check it out. But based on Dan Waters being on the book, I'm not expecting this to be groundbreaking or just awesome. But at this point, I could take average Nightwing that moves with a pace, because I've already had average Nightwing that moved really, really slowly, and I found that insufferable. Next up is Titans, new writer John Layman, art by Pete Woods. A league of their own after the events of Absolute Power, the team looks towards the future and their place in it. Will their failure to control Amanda Waller mean lasting consequences for the hero community? This one came out of left field for me. I don't think I've seen John Layman work at DC Comics in over a decade at this point. Certainly in the past, when he has worked at DC, he's been more of a Batman guy. Certainly has done some X-Men stuff at Marvel. You mostly think of John Layman, I guess, as Chew in a lot of his, maybe his Wildstorm stuff, indie type of work. I don't particularly have positive feelings about John Layman. Pete Woods is a perfectly serviceable artist, but this isn't a series that I think will be good. I'll probably check out the first issue but then I don't expect to stick around very long. I love Titans. I wish there was a good Teen Titans book out there, or just a Titans book. The last really good one we got was actually Day and Abnett, I guess. That was a really good Titans book. The last Teen Titans book we got that was good was something Glass. I can't remember his first name anymore, but it's been slim pickings since then. The Tom Taylor Titans book absolutely sucks, so it's got to be better than that. But I don't have any expectations for this book, particularly. I think this is a really weird choice. You're not even going back and grabbing an established writer that was ever awesome and super hot at DC Comics. You're just getting a guy that used to be there. Why not go out there and get a Ryan Parrott? Why not go out there and get a Tony Fleeks? Why not go out there and get anybody that could be an exciting new talent and build up a star or something? Because this is just, it's not even business as usual. It's just kind of okay. Next up, Batman and Robin, Philip Kennedy Johnson, Javier Fernandez. Damian Wayne is the son of the Bat, grandson of the Demon and Robin, but as he nears the age at which his father traveled the world, one question is on his mind. Who is Damian outside of the Crusades his family has tasked him with fighting since birth? When he starts to look beyond his life of endless violence, a different way to help the world begins to present itself. But when an enigmatic new murderer begins reenacting traumatic crimes from Gotham's history, Batman will need Robin more than ever before. It's a whole new dynamic for the dynamic duo as the powerhouse team of Philip Kennedy Johnson and Javier Fernandez bring you the dark and mystifying next chapter of the lives of Bruce and Damian Wayne. You are not ready for what's in store. Of all the new creative teams being put on books, this is the one that excites me the most. Philip Kennedy Johnson doesn't always nail it, but he nails it enough for me to trust him as a creator that he's going to do something interesting, probably with a little twist on there, some lore building, kind of stuff like that. That's the stuff he's really interested in and the types of stories that he likes to tell. So I think Gotham will be a major player in this Batman and Robin series. Obviously, it's going to have a major focus on trying to flesh out Damian Wayne, which I think has actually been done pretty well, especially Joshua Williamson in that Robin series. Joshua Williamson obviously was on this Batman and Robin book, which I found just completely lackluster and disappointing because I was really excited about that book. Part of the reason that book really doesn't work, I think, is the art by Simone DeMeo. They found the wrong artist. They found a good artist and put him on the wrong book. This is the right artist. Javier Fernandez, I can't think of a better artist really to pair with Philip Kennedy Johnson on a Detective Comics book outside of Riccardo Federici, who's obviously been working on Detective Comics with Ram V for some time now. And I just think this is a really good pairing. I think Philip Kennedy Johnson will do a really good job. You know, I know he understands the dynamics between children and kids and all that stuff because he's a father in his own right. I don't know if he's an exciting talent at this point because he's certainly not a new commodity or a new talent that you don't know what he's going to do. I kind of know who Phil Kennedy Johnson is, but I do get excited for his comic books. I don't go, oh, he's going to do something mind-blowing, but he's going to do something different. It's going to be intriguing, and I'm likely to buy into it. Rarely does he actually miss on a full level. And I think this is a really good pairing. It's a really good idea. They kind of nailed this one. Really good job on Batman and Robin, a title that needs something to really spark things up because it has been lackluster, basically since the beginning, in my opinion. Next up, we've got a new Green Arrow series with Chris Condon and Montos on art. This oversized issue features the aftermath of Oliver Queen's role in Absolute Power, while also setting the stage for his next chapter. First, Oliver Queen did the unthinkable to protect his family, and now he must deal with the ramifications of his actions. Will his family and friends forgive him? Then get ready for the opening chapter of the Emerald Archer's next adventure from writer Chris Condon and artist Montos. Also in the Green Arrow promo is The Flash from Cy Spurrier and Vasco Gorgiev. I really don't care about this. I can't believe they kept Cy Spurrier on it. So let's talk about Green Arrow first. Now, as far as new creative teams that I think are exciting, I think this might be the one. We haven't seen Chris Condon do much superhero stuff, if any. The only thing I know of Chris Condon is That Texas Blood and The Enfield Gang Massacre, which are really, really good books. He's really good at creating tension. He's really good at creating twists and turns in stories, foreshadowing stuff you didn't realize was being foreshadowed. Then when it happens, like, oh, how did I miss that? Like, he's a good storyteller, and he knows how to utilize the medium to its fullest. Montos has been the artist on the Green Lantern War Journal book from Philip Kennedy Johnson, which is ending very soon. And I thought he got better really from beginning to end. He was perfectly fine at the beginning, but by the end, I think he was a much better artist. And I think Montos has a bright future. I don't know that he'll ever be Greg Capullo or somebody like that, but I do think he's somebody that could have a career lasting at DC for another 10 years, working on all types of characters and bringing a different flavor to them. So I think this one's pretty exciting. And Chris Condon is a name that if you've read his stuff on the indie scene, you know that he's got the talent, but it is a little bit unknown because he hasn't done superheroes. So I'm really excited for this one because I haven't enjoyed. Well, I mean, at the beginning, I thought Josh Williamson was doing exciting stuff with Oliver Queen, kind of reintroducing him after he died during Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths or whatever. It sounds like his betrayal of all the heroes in the DC universe is going to be real. I assumed that he was a sleeper agent, but just reading that, it sounds like, yes, he really did turn on him and he was on Waller's team. We'll see the fallout about that stuff, but I'm more excited on what Chris Condon has to say about Green Arrow because we haven't had a really good Green Arrow book. Man, what did you like Penn Percy's? Is it Andy Diggle? Is it Jeff Lemire? Does it even go back that far? So it's been a while since we had a really exciting ongoing Green Arrow book that really drew you in. And I think this might be the one. Chris Condon, good job actually going out there and finding a new talent that might be able to bring something new to the table and might have something new to say about the DC hero. So I think that was a really good idea. Getting over to Flash, I cannot believe Cy Spurrier is still on this book. Like, he has dropped the ball so spectacularly. It's unreadable garbage at this point. Nobody asked for this version of Wally West. No one asked for them to remove the family aspects from the story. And Cy Spurrier is just a hack. That's all he's ever going to be. Leave him on Constantine because he can speak British really well. Shockingly, because he is British. And then Vasco Gorgiev, I have high hopes for him, but he continuously gets saddled with bad creative and just writers that don't know what they're doing. So I won't see it because I would never read this freaking Flash book again. Next up, Action Comics, now written by Mark Waid, art by Clayton Henry, backup by Mariko Tamaki, art by Skylar Partridge. An otherworldly horror tearing its way through Metropolis has emerged from the Phantom Zone. Something's wrong in the zone. Something terrible, and Superman must enter alone to find out what. From the pages of Absolute Power and Batman Superman World's Finest comes a new action epic, unlike any you've ever seen before, from the visionary creative team of Mark Waid and Clayton Henry. Plus, the Woman of Tomorrow is here today. Supergirl special. Mariko Tamaki and Skylar Partridge return to bring Kara to the farthest reaches of space in pursuit of a mysterious threat only she can handle. I understand they want to get Supergirl over and make her a big deal before we get that Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, which is it's just true grit. Let's stop kidding ourselves here. This is not the way to do it. Mariko Tamaki and Skylar Partridge already had their chance on a Supergirl book, and it didn't sell, and no one cared, and no one batted an eye because it's Mariko Tamaki. She's not a superhero writer. She's a slice of life, LGBTQ plus, coming of age graphic novel writer. She doesn't belong at Marvel and DC. That's been proven over and over again. Even the one time she did something that was better than I anticipated, Detective Comics, she dropped the ball 6 issues in. And she had that stupid event that went nowhere and was absolutely awful. I feel so bad for Skylar Partridge because Skylar Partridge is a really good artist that deserves better. Every time Skylar Partridge gets an opportunity at Marvel or DC, they continuously partner her with just terrible writers, and she's never going to have a chance to get the accolades and the acclaim that she deserves doing shit like this. Mark Waid on Action Comics, not in a million fucking years. Enough said. There will be a video on that tomorrow. Next fucking book. Finally, we've got Green Lantern, written by Jeremy Adams, Zermanico still on art. The seeds of war have been sown. Now a massive battle rages across the galaxy. Hal Jordan, John Stewart, and Guy Gardner must race to unlock the mystery of the Dark Star resurrection, what it means for the beloved friend Kilowog, and just how to battle an entire planet. The red rage of Mogo rains down on our heroes as the Civil War heats up. Jeremy Adams has been doing an awesome job on Green Lantern, so is Germanico. It sounds like they're continuing that story, but also weaving in the stuff Phil Kennedy Johnson was doing in Green Lantern War Journal to come into this story where you have Theros and the United Planets taking over all the cores and breaking central power batteries and taking over all the emotional spectrums and stuff like this. I think this story has been awesome. I've really enjoyed Jeremy Adams on Green Lantern. I'm glad they kept him there and didn't remove him like they did on Flash, which he should still be writing. Stupid IP management on the part of Jim Lee, Marie Javins, and DC Comics. I don't think these morons could manage a pet rock factory, let alone an actual comic book publishing line and that's why we got Salisbury on Flash still. But that sounds good. Those are the creative teams that we know that are in that DC spotlight where I've got all these images from. The other two people that I've heard, or this is what I was told, Torn Grunbeck on Catwoman, Elliot Kalan on Harley Quinn. Torn Grunbeck is going to be an improvement over Tini Howard, but literally everybody would be an improvement over Tini Howard. That doesn't say anything. Torn Grunbeck, everything I've read from that person, she is underwhelming at best and sometimes just really, really bad. She's the one that came up with we need to put a symbiote on Black Widow or whatever. One of the dumbest ideas in recent Marvel Comics history. Just really, really stupid stuff. Continuously importing the failures from Marvel over to DC. And then Elliot Kalan is going to be on Harley Quinn. You've probably never heard of that person. I think he was the head writer for the Daily Show with Jon Stewart back in the day. And I think he did like Mystery Science Theater 3000 or something. So he's ostensibly, I guess, professionally speaking, a comedian that's probably not funny. So I don't think Harley Quinn will get any better. This is almost as weird as Marvel Comics putting that dude from C-SPAN on fucking Iron Man. It's like, I just don't get it, but okay, you do what you do, and I'll just sit here going, sure, why not? There's another really big rumor going out there, and I'll put this at the end, but it would be exciting if it's true, but I don't believe it. But this is the rumor that's out there. DC Comics will have an announcement at San Diego Comic-Con that the all-in issues, the all-in comic books, will be available retail stores like Walmart and Target. At least in the initial portion of it. I don't know if this is a bigger plan than that. I don't believe this, but if it was true and they came up with a better price point than $4.99, which I believe will be the bottom level of all this kind of stuff, it would be really, really smart. If they could get it down to $2.99, it would be the best price point. $3.99 would still be better than $4.99. But that's just a rumor that's out there that we might be hearing in the next week and a half, that DC are going to try and get their way into retail stores like Walmart and Target, which would certainly make DC Comics much more accessible to the wider audience out there and normies and stuff like that. Would it work? I'm not really sure, but I don't want to get too far into that one because I do not believe that rumor, but I did want to put it out there for you guys to hear. So those are the new creative teams at DC Comics. Never going to read Action Comics again until Mark Waid's off that book. Fuck that guy. I'll definitely be reading Detective Comics. I think Green Arrow sounds exciting. I'll check out Detective Comics, but I have no expectations for that one. Flash continues to be not good. I mean, I don't know why he's still on the book, and Green Lantern should be awesome. I'm still surprised they're not changing out the writer on Batman, but whatever. There you go. You got it here first, I believe. I don't think I've seen anyone else cover this anywhere else. So we got some exclusive stuff here today. If you would like more conversations about all this kind of stuff and the entire geek culture around comic books, and you like what we're doing here on Think Critical YouTube, and you would like to support our mission and what we're accomplishing here, you go over to Patreon. There's a link in the video description. You support us there. Depending on the tier, you get awesome exclusive videos and podcasts. If you haven't seen that yet, definitely go check that out, and I do hope to see you there very soon.